Hi everybody, welcome back to the channel and welcome back to another course vlog. Look at this beautiful landscape behind us. We're out here in Orange County, Coyote Hills Golf Club, and this place is some dramatic terrain. No par 5s in the front 9 and 2 on the back to a par 70. Hey, if you're new to the channel, click subscribe down below. I'd love to have you back. Let's get on out there to number 1. Here we go. Number 1 starts off as a doozy right here down the tunnel of trees next to the driving range. It does open up a lot out there, a lot more than it looks like off the tee. You're going to have to make sure to hit as much as you can off the tee, and you'll find yourself a little short approach up into this green. It's slightly elevated from that approach area there, and it's protected by tons of bunkers. You're going to start to see this course gets very claustrophobic, especially into the greens. Now, I started this round on the back 9, but we're going to take it off here from number 1. I was definitely warmed up and ready to go by the time I made the turn. A smooth cut off the tee was all I needed, and it just didn't quite cut back into the fairway for me. Just under 100 yards from the left-hand side, this wedge had no problem getting up and over the tree. It was a completely blind shot, couldn't see anything through the tree, just trusted the number and hit it perfectly. So 92 yards, and can we call that a gimme?
Yeah,
it's good. 30.
Wow.
Almost holding it out. Oh, that would have been awesome. That would have been really cool. But here we go. Number 2, a very tight par 4 here. There's no par 5s on the entire front 9. And here, if you miss right, it's on the hill. If you miss left, it's in a bunker or down the hill. So just lay it down there in the fairway with something short and controllable off the tee. Play the longer approach into this green. There's a little bit more room to work with around this hole. But with that hole location way back in the back of the green, it's going to be testing this time. Now that driver on number 1 is going to be the only one you see all day long. It's time to control my golf and hit some irons off the tee. But even when I hit a 4-iron off the tee, I can still hit it out. Straight out into the stuff, I took my penalty drop and hit number 3 here from behind the trees up and over onto the green. I had a putt at it for par, but this is from like 80 feet away. We're just trying to lag this one down, avoid the 3-putt, avoid the double bogey. This is 4 feet under the hole. It's a little testy one, but I lined it up good. And right in the left-hand side, salvage the bogey after the birdie. It's never great, but we're still even par. Only 150 yards straight down the hill. This is going to be adjusted down to about 135 to this middle hole location. And there's plenty of trouble if you can't hit it straight. A big gap wedge for me here. I thought I had the number right, but man, this hit the green and just spun right off to the front edge. And I had a long look from the front of the green. Right when you think it might go in, it just doesn't take that last turn. Just short, a kick-in par. And we're on to number 4. Now, one of the easiest par 4s on the golf course here. This is a layup and wedge hole. Especially for me, it's only going to be a 4-iron off the tee to avoid all the trouble. I'm going to have to hit it straight. But if I hit anything farther than about 240 yards, it just brings everything else into play. Almost a dead right turn, and up the hill to this green. It's going to sit perched right over that bunker, and the hill on the right side might kick your ball back down to the green, but you never really know. A nice smooth 4-iron out there for me. This ball should go about 230 yards off the tee, leaving me a full 9-iron into the green, about 160 yards into this green. And I just pushed it. I was trying to turn over the draw into this flag, and I pushed it way off over onto the hill. It did kick down a little bit here to the fringe, and with how smooth the fringes were rolling, I decided to take the putter out again. A little bit of reconciliation from the last, put a little bit more steam on it, and it will go in. Now from one of the easier par 4s to the hardest par 4 on the golf course. A very, very narrow and uphill hole here. Thread the needle between the bunkers and lay it short of the hazard here that crosses across the entire hole. Everyone's going to have to fly that river over to the green that sits blindly up the hill, surrounded by more sand. This is a tough one. Another 4-iron off the tee. It was the trusty club this afternoon, and another 230 yards down this hole left myself a pitching wedge this time from 150 yards. A smooth one just past the hole location and on the fringe again. I was really feeling it with the putter, so just feel what you got here. Even if it might hit a chip shot, take the putter out. You are always going to do better with the putter in hand from that close. Another par 4 here. This course just beats you down with tough, narrow par 4s here on the front 9. Make sure you bring your accuracy and maybe a few more golf balls in your bag if you play out here. Thread the needle again here. Bunkers on the right this time and canyon on the left. You're going to have to lay it short as well as we start to head up the hole. It really narrows down as well, and you're going to have a blind shot up to this green that's got a bunker on the right to save any golf balls from going down in the canyon, and it's another tight one into the green. Now this one I hit my 2-iron, and this is right about the time I started to hit my 2-iron poorly. A little Yankee off the tee there, it went left up onto this hill and got salvaged by the terrain here. Ball way below my feet. You can see there was one of my playing partner's ball right there next to me. That was actually kind of cool. I bladed a 9-iron over the green, and now we're going to have to get up and down. A sand wedge was the club of choice here, and it just ran and ran for days, all the way off the front of the green. And now we're chipping for 4. Back and forth we go. And almost in the hole for one of the greatest pars that I would have made in a long time. Now, number 7 here is possibly the signature hole on the golf course. The longest drop off the tee you have all day, and you have a lot of them here today at Coyote Hills. It's kind of fun, to be honest with you. You're just hitting shot after shot way from an elevated tee box down to a lower fairway. This fairway cuts off as well, so you can't take all your club if you hit it long like I do. Another iron off the tee and wedge into this green that's well protected by a bunker that looks bigger than the green itself. Now, even after hitting the 2-iron poorly on the last hole, it was the club of choice for me here. Smashed it right down Main Street. There's plenty of fairway down there as long as you hit it the right distance. Another pitching wedge into this green, about 145 yards to this back hole location. I tried to hit it just a little bit too precisely and flared it way off to the right-hand side. It was hole high, but I was about 45 feet away, but this putter was really working today. A confident club in my hand. Oh, I thought I could get another one to drop there. Another comfy tap-in par, and we can head to the next par 3 here. The 8th hole is a long one, slightly down the hill, but a long, tough shot from the tips. Over 200 yards, a tiny little green here. Everything bounces from left to right, so if you're going to miss short or miss left, especially to that back right hole location. Really was compressing my irons well today. A little baby draw into that hole location, and I was flirting with the trouble. Landed it right here up on the fringe again. Let's see if we can make some magic happen with the putter off the fringe. It's another one I just leave just a touch short. Another comfy tap-in par That's kind of the name of the game here today, and we can head down to number 9. A glorious drop off the hill again. This hole is awesome, just like a couple of the others here on the golf course. But again, trouble if you hit it too far. Pick your club wisely and hit it to the fat part of the fairway that we're flying over right now. You're going to have a little bit longer into the green, but hey, play the golf course safe and the way it's meant to be played. Plenty of trouble if you're way short of this green, but up near it, not too much, especially off the right-hand side. It's pretty fair as we're coming in to close the 9. Another 4-iron for me off the tee, smooth and straight. And it was awesome to see it just bound right down the middle of the fairway. I had a ton of distance, though, left, about 150 yards again, and another pitching wedge. Now this one I caught just a touch fat. Thought I had it good, but I spun it back off the front edge, way back off the green. There's a ton of terrain here. I had to give it this one a go with the wedge. Nearly letting that thing drop. How did it not go down? Oh boy. Wow.
Go ahead and hit that like button if you think that should have gone in. Subscribe and we'll see you next time. Later.